What's up, Hokie fans? This is Coach Mike Holmes of the Sons of Saturday, welcoming you to another edition of the 10-Minute Tailgate. Each week on the 10-Minute Tailgate, we give you a recipe and a cocktail themed for each week's opponent. And this week, the Virginia Tech Hokies play another home game, this week against the Old Dominion Monarchs. Now, when I think of Old Dominion, you think of 757, you think of the Tidewater area, and the first thing I do when I think of that area is think of seafood. So this week on the 10-Minute Tailgate, we are going to give you a crab cake slider. It's going to have some Old Bay in there. It's going to be a nice, compact, it's going to be a handheld sandwich. It's going to be perfect whether you're going to serve it during lunch or you could have it in the evening because it's a 7 o'clock kick. And it's going to pair really well with our cocktail, which is going to be a coastal tradition, which is a really heavy cocktail. You may only want one of these, which is a rum runner. So let's go ahead and get to it. So this crab cake recipe is going to blend Old Bay. It's going to blend some other flavors. It's going to be really, really delicious. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. Let's go ahead and start with the crab. Now you can go to the store, go to your local, go to Kroger, go to Walmart, wherever your local grocery store of choice is, and get lump crab meat. You don't want really the claw. You don't want imitation. You really want it to taste really good. You're going to want to get lump crab meat. You want 1 pound of lump crab. We're going to go ahead and dump that into our bowl. We'll set that aside. Now, any crab cake, the reason why it's going to be a cake is you're going to add some breading to it. You can use panko breadcrumbs. I prefer to take some saltine crackers. You're going to want about a cup and a half, about a half a cup of saltine crackers, and you're going to put them in a Ziploc bag, and it's really fun. You get to hit them with a hammer and get to bang them all up. But a half cup of saltine crackers, finely crumbled, and we're going to add that to the top of our crab mix here, okay? Then we're going to start putting our mix together. We're going to start with 1 egg. We're going to take our egg, whole, yolk and all, going to add that in there. Try not to get any shell in there. We're going to take our shell, put that right in the can. Then we start putting in our wet ingredients, okay? Get a little spoon here to help me. Lemon juice. We're going to do 1 teaspoon lemon juice. Add that in there. Do 1 teaspoon yellow mustard. Okay, we're going to add that in there. We're going to do 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And again, on the 10-Minute Tailgate, we only use Duke's. All right. Now, for our dry spices. Here, we have our Old Bay. We have, and that's going to be a tablespoon of Old Bay, a large heaping teaspoon of Old Bay. We're going to go 1.5 teaspoons of dried leaf parsley. We're going to go 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt and about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, and then we're going to add that into our mix. Okay. Try to get everything off of our spoon here. And then we're just going to take our spoon, mash everything up, and we're going to mix it all together. Now, that egg and the breadcrumbs are going to bind everything together, okay? And that is going to kind of create this cake. This cake that's going to kind of bind everything together here. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and get my pan started. So we can get that going on about medium heat, okay? And I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons of butter on top of my pan. I'm going to let that get going here. Now, when we start making these cakes, what's really important is that you don't want to make them too thick, okay? Because it's really important that the egg inside of these crab cakes gets cooked all the way through, because that's going to be your binder, okay? That's going to be the thing that kind of binds everything and gets everything together. So this looks pretty good, well and mixed, okay? All right. So when we get this all mixed here, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to form my patties. When we form our patties, we're going to make them like a little mini hamburger bun, like a little mini hamburger. We're going to make them about the little larger than the size of a silver dollar, about maybe 2 inches, 2 inches across, 2 inches in diameter. I'll use this bowl as my display here for y'all. Maybe you can see that right there. Okay. And again, we want to make sure that they stay flattened out. It's a little too big. I'm going to take some of that out. Okay. This recipe that I have on the sonsofsaturday.com that you'll be able to find will be enough for about 12 of these. So if you want, if you have a larger tailgate, a larger party, you're going to want to be able to double this a little bit. So there you go. There you can see there is enough right here. That's about as thick as you want it. So a little bit more than a half an inch. And I'll go ahead and set that there. So while my pan is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and finish making these. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get these set up on here, and I'm going to cook these. And when we come back, we're going to put our slider buns together. So see you in a little bit. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. This is we're about done here. These guys have been on the oven now, or been on the stovetop for about roughly 10 minutes or so. And in that time, we have gone ahead and we have go ahead and sliced our King's Hawaiian rolls and gotten those prepped. And I'm going to go ahead and take these, and I'm just going to put these on a temporary plate. And oh man, these look awesome. You want to kind of cook these and on until they're golden brown. Awesome. Okay. Sorry. Now, so now let's put these together. Again, this is a simple recipe. All right. So here is our here are our slider buns. So we have already capped them, and now we have our tartar sauce. So a tartar sauce is a mayonnaise-based concoction. Usually has lemon and capers and some other spices. Very good. But this is going to add a nice flavor profile to it. If you want to, because of the Old Bay, you could spice it up a little bit. You could put some sriracha in there if you wanted to, but because this is being served in my house right now, my wife's taste buds aren't as adherent to spice as mine, so we're just going to keep this as a regular tartar sauce. Okay, and we're going to generously spread this across the top of our buns to add this little kind of base layer of tartar sauce. Okay, there we go. Get that across each bun, so every slider gets its own bit of tartar sauce. There, excellent. And we'll set that aside. Perfect. And then we'll take the tops of our buns and we'll move those aside as well. Now, we're going to take our crab cakes. We're going to set each one in the cardboard. I like to keep them in the cardboard. Wrap these in foil. Okay. Because this has a mayonnaise-based tartar sauce on top, we're going to set this on top here. You can go ahead and take this and go ahead and slice. So wrap this in foil on the cardboard tray, and then you can just kind of keep that with you. You can put it in your cooler, however you want, and then if you wanted to warm them up, you can. But these crab cakes would be good. However you prefer to serve. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, actually, you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to take a quick bite of one of these. just because they look so good. All right, here we go. Crab cake slider. Man, you get the Old Bay in there. You get the lemon and the capers from the tartar sauce. You get the butter and the crisp from how they were prepared on the stove. Man, that is fantastic. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to make our rum runner. We'll see you in just a second. Okay, folks, welcome back to the 10-minute tailgate. So our drink tonight is going to be a rum runner. So rum runner is when I think of the beach, I think of a rum runner. That's kind of one of those fruity boat drinks that is one of the first things that always pops into my mind. One of the first things that I think about. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my shaker and I'm going to fill it with some ice. And one thing I want to warn you about on this is there's a lot of liquor in this. So you want to make sure that, if you're a lightweight and you don't handle your liquor very well, maybe half this recipe, okay, and maybe don't do everything that this calls for, or maybe split it with a buddy. So just keep that in the back of your mind. All right. So with this rum runner, and always drink responsibly, by the way. Okay. All right. We're going to start with dark rum. Okay. Dark rum. I use Myers dark rum here. We're going to go 1 ounce of dark rum. So let's go 1 ounce of dark rum here. Plop that in there. Okay. Then we're going to go 1 ounce of light rum. Got some Bacardi Gold here. Ounce of light rum. Okay. Here we go. Set that aside. Okay. Now we're going to go liqueur. Okay. We got banana liqueur. I'm using 99 bananas. We're going to go 1 ounce of that here. Not even using the full mini bottle. Then we're going to go blackberry liqueur. There you go, right here. Not even using the full mini bottle, going 1 ounce there. Okay. Again, a lot of liquor there. Okay. So we're going to go 1 ounce. So the recipe calls for 1 ounce of orange juice, 1 ounce of pineapple juice. So I have some pineapple orange banana juice, so I'm combining that together. And so we're going to go 2 ounces of this, kind of combine that all together there. All right. And a splash of grenadine. Okay. For color. And that's going to give you your pink color that you notice if you've ever had a rum runner before. Now, while this is chilling in my mixer, you're going to give it a good shake. You may also have seen this in its frozen form. Okay. I'm going to serve this in a nice hurricane glass, courtesy of the Roaring Riot. So any of you Carolina Panthers fans out there, you know who the Roaring Riot are. It's the fan club of the Carolina Panthers. So we're going to fill this hurricane glass up with ice. Okay. Here we go. Let's get rid of this ice bowl so you can see. All right. So here we go. There's a hurricane glass. All right. So we got our cocktail. We're going to pour it over the top. Smell all those tropical fruity flavors. All right. Now, it didn't fill all the way up for a reason. And that's because at the very end, you get yourself a nice little floater of dark rum. Now, at the very end, we're going to give ourselves a nice maraschino cherry. Or 2, because I like maraschino cherries. Or 3. We'll give ourselves 3. 3 maraschino cherries. And there we have our rum runner. All right. It's going to go perfect with these. It's going to taste just like a day at the beach, although we're going to be in Blacksburg. So here's to it. Enjoy. Go Hokies. That is fruity. but you can really taste everything else that's in it. The 2 different types of rum, all the different flavored liqueurs in there. But it is fruity. It is tasty. It tastes like a day at the beach. But but that was one of the first beach drinks when I thought about we're playing a coastal team from the 757. One of the first things I thought of. So again, thank you for tuning in to this week's 10-Minute Tailgate. I'm Coach Holmes. Thank you to the Sons of Saturday for allowing me to be part of this network. We greatly appreciate it. Follow me at Hokie Hitter. Subscribe to the Sons of Saturday YouTube channel. Subscribe to all of their social medias. Follow them. Follow Pete and Sam at Too Deep. Follow their podcast as well. We really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Go Hokies.